What's up, guys? Top 10 films of 2018. I know that this is very late, and yeah, I don't really have any excuses for that. But this is my first ever top 10 video. I've been doing this since 2016, and I've never done a 2016 or 2017 video. I've written down my top 10 films for those years, but I never ended up actually making a video. So I'm going to do it, I'm committing to it, and these aren't full reviews, they're going to be a few short words, and yeah, obviously this isn't an official list. These are just my thoughts. These aren't the top 10 best films of 2018. These are my 10 favourite films of 2018. And nearing the top of 4 or 3, they could be in any order. There wasn't really one standout film for me this year. Just so you know, my favourite film of 2017 was Blade Runner 2049. As soon as I saw it, I knew that it was going to be my favourite film, and it didn't change. There wasn't a film like that this year, so my top 4 or 3 films are interchangeable, basically. So yeah, let's get into it. Number 10 is Black Panther. When I first saw Black Panther over a year ago now, that's crazy, that's February 2018, there was so much hype around it. Everyone was talking about it, raving about it. Critics loved it, and I liked it the first time I saw it. I was expecting to love it, but I liked it. Then it got re-released during awards season, and I saw it again about a month ago, and I really, really liked it. The things that didn't work for me before worked for me this time, and I put aside the flaws that I had. Obviously, I still have some flaws with it, but the film was just... it was just a much better experience for me second time round. So number 10 is Black Panther. Number 9, sticking with a Marvel character, is Spider-Man Into the SpiderVerse. Marvel Studios didn't make this film, it was Sony, but this film was just such a breath of fresh air. It won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature. The animation style was fantastic. I loved the music from it, the animation, the comedy. I loved everything. It was exciting, heartwarming. It had everything that I wanted in a film, and it barely had... I barely had any flaws with it. I loved Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So that's number 9. Number 8, sticking with Marvel, is Avengers Infinity War. 3 Marvel films, Marvel-based films, 10, 9, 8. That's interesting. Infinity War was this massive event film. It was part 1 of the end to the first big stage of the MCU. Endgame is coming out next month, and I'm very excited. So yeah, Infinity War lived up to all of my expectations. It delivered everything that I wanted. Action, excitement, really good emotion that I wasn't expecting, and yeah, it was everything that I wanted it to be. Number 7 is A Star Is Born. I didn't see this when it first came out, but I heard that everyone loved it. Everyone went to see this film. Critics loved it. It was a Best Picture nominee, and I always try to see all the Best Picture nominees before the Oscars. And I really liked A Star Is Born. The first half, I absolutely adored. If the first half was the whole film, it would have been up there in my favourite films of the year. But the second half is still really good. I just much prefer the first half. In any love story, I typically prefer to see the characters falling in love than when they're actually in their relationship. But Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga have fantastic chemistry. I love the songs. It's such a great drama, and yeah, I really liked A Star Is Born. Number 6 is Hereditary. This film broke me the first time I saw it. I staggered out of the cinema. I was in shock. I could barely drive home. I'm so glad that I saw it in the theatres with people. It was such an experience. So many of these films on this list, especially getting into the top 5, were such great theatrical experiences. And there was lots of hype surrounding Hereditary going into the film. It premiered at Sundance in the midnight section. Everyone was saying it was the scariest film that they'd ever seen, and obviously that gave me expectations for it, so I went into it, and it really hit me. It really hit me, and I loved the way that it genuinely scared me. It genuinely affected me, and that's all I can ask for in any horror film. Number 5, we're into the top 5 now. Number 5 is First Man, Damien Chazelle's latest film. Not enough people saw it. It wasn't a Best Picture nominee. Justin Hurwitz was robbed of an Oscar, even an Oscar nomination for Best Score. He won the Golden Globe. I don't understand why he wasn't nominated for Best Score. The music is by far my favourite thing about this film. The landing, the piece of the score called The Landing is absolutely fantastic. It was my favourite film score from last year. The moon landing sequence is fantastic. Damien Chazelle once again directed one of my favourite films of the year. La La Land was my favourite. La La Land's one of my favourite films of all time. That and Whiplash. Yeah, I love everything that Damien Chazelle does, and this didn't change my thoughts on that whatsoever. I really, really loved First Man. Number 4 is Isle of Dogs. This is the film that I saw, over a year ago, I think February 2018. It was Wes Anderson's second animated feature, and I loved pretty much everything about this film. The world that it created, the score, the story, the emotion, the comedy, it was all classic Wes Anderson, and lots of people find it repetitive, his style, but I think that when his style is applied to different styles of film, like animation, to different stories, it really, really works, and I loved Isle of Dogs. Number 3 is Green Book. Green Book was one of 2 A+s that I gave this year, and I didn't have a single flaw with it. Lots of people took fault in the way that it handled race. I thought, and you can watch my review to hear my full thoughts on it, I thought that it handled its race issues very well. The chemistry between Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali was great. Their performances are both fantastic. Mahershala Ali won Best Supporting Actor, deservedly. And yeah, I loved everything about it. The comedy, the drama, it just worked completely. Now, on to number 2, and my number 2 film is Mandy. Panos Cosmatos' second film. I saw this at a midnight screening. I went to this small art house cinema in the city to go and see it. Nicolas Cage. Wow. If you haven't seen it, see it. If you haven't seen my review, go and watch it, because you can see how much I absolutely loved it. It's a revenge film starring Nicolas Cage, and it was everything that I wanted it to be. The kills are fantastic. There's an emotional heart to it. The cinematography is gorgeous. My favourite cinematography of all of 2018. The score is fantastic. Johan Johansson's final score. It was everything that I wanted it to be. If you haven't seen Mandy, definitely check it out. And finally, my number 1 film of 2018 was 8th Grade. 8th Grade was a film, I saw the trailer for it in January of 2018, and because that's when it came out at Sundance, and I knew from then that it was going to be a film that I wanted to see, because simply from the trailer, I knew that it was going to be realistic. Everything about it just seemed authentic. When I finally got to see it over the summer, again, I've said this before, I'll say it again, it was everything that I wanted it to be. If a film can deliver on my expectations, then I will always appreciate it. Elsie Fisher was fantastic. Bo Burnham's writing was so funny. I don't think I've seen a film that hit me so much in terms of its accuracy and realism, because it was just like my middle school experience. And I loved everything about 8th Grade. It was my other A+ of the year. And yeah, I loved everything about it. So yeah, that's my top 10. Top 10 films of 2018. It feels good to have done it. So yeah, if you like my thoughts, let me know in the comment section. If you disagree with me, again, I want to discuss. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, whatever you want to do. And until the next time, goodbye.